Hey guys, Austin here, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing some player grades at the halfway point of the season. Now, about a month and a half ago, I did player grades at the quarter mark of the season, back when the team was struggling, and I wanted to compare players and see how they've improved or if they've actually gotten worse since that time. The good news is most players have gotten better. Also, if I do sound different, it's because I am trying out a different microphone. I was given some feedback on a video from this morning, so I'm trying this microphone out. If it sounds worse and you want me to go back to the other one, I will go back to the other one. I just wanted to test this one for you guys too. Okay, so let's get into the mid-season player grades. Now, the current grade is beside the player. The previous grade, back from a month and a half ago, is in brackets. So for goaltenders, starting with Calvin Pickard, his current grade is a C+, and his previous grade was NA. He had just been called up from the minors, so I didn't give him a player grade at the time, but he is a C+ for me. Basically, he's average, 900 save percentage, 2.6 goals against. He gives you a chance to win. That's all you can ask for from Calvin Pickard, so he gets a C+. And Stuart Skinner, he's up to a B+ now. His last player grade was C-, so Stuart Skinner, Stu is piping hot, and he has improved a lot since a month and a half ago, so that's really nice to see for Skinner. And then Jack Campbell, of course, right now it's NA, but his previous grade was D- before they sent him to the minors. Now, when we start to look at defensemen, first one is Darnell Nurse. Now, his last player grade was a B, and his current player grade is a B+. Nurse's game has actually gotten better under Paul Coffey. He's still prone to some strange lapses in judgment and positioning on the ice, but overall, Darnell Nurse's game, especially since Paul Coffey took over, has been very solid, so happy about that. Now, his partner, Cody Ceci, his last player grade, I gave him a B+. This player grade, I gave a C-. I'm not sure if I'm just being really mean to Cody Ceci right now. Maybe that's a little harsh. I also don't know why I liked him so much at the start of the season. That's an interesting one. Basically, my logic is Cody Ceci right now just isn't playing great hockey, and he really does bring down that second pair with Darnell Nurse. There's only so much Nurse can do when he has Ceci on his right side. The team does need an upgrade on the right side where Cody Ceci is right now in the top 4. This does not mean that I hate Cody Ceci, and if you were a big Ceci fan, I'm really sorry that player grade is you're probably looking at that and like, what the heck? The drop off obviously probably isn't that steep. It's not like Ceci is costing us games right now, but that's just kind of where I'm at with his game at the moment. Now, when it comes to Matthias Ekholm, almost said Janmark, his previous grade was a B. His current grade is an A-. He has improved his play. Ekholm, super solid all the time. He'll give you 21, 22 minutes a night. Love to see it. And now Evan Bouchard, I gave his original player grade was an A- a month and a half ago, and there were a lot of people that were really mad about that, but I was just trying to tell people, trust the process, trust the analytics, and Evan Bouchard has shown that as long as you just trust him, he's going to prove to you that he is a very, very capable defenseman. He is a top pairing defenseman in the league. He's point per game. His defensive play has improved incredibly under Paul Coffey, and he deserves that A right now. He was almost an A+. I really did debate giving him an A+, but he gets an A for now. And then Brett Kulak, his last rating was a C-. His current rating is a C+. Brett Kulak, he's a very average defender. He skates well. He doesn't do a whole lot of anything else, but that third pair between him and Vincent Desharnais is actually pretty good. But I think Desharnais is the one that is actually elevating that pair. Desharnais' previous ranking was a B+ in my opinion, and right now it is an A. I don't know what it is about Desharnais at the moment that I just seem to bring him up in every video and talk very positively about Vincent Desharnais. I just love this player. I love his play style. I love the growth of his game. I love the journey that he's taken from where he was drafted to his journey to the NHL, and the fact that he has been playing some really strong minutes for Edmonton in recent weeks makes me very happy, and I'm very excited to see how that transitions into the playoffs this season. Now, of course, it's time to move into the forwards. Now, basically, our bottom 6 is first, Adam Ernie. His last rating was a D-. His current rating is a D. The only reason why it went up is because he scored a goal in between that time. So he is currently on waivers. I guess he cleared waivers, so he's sent down to Bakersfield. Dylan Holloway, his previous rating was a C, but he was injured for a long period of time, so his current rating is NA. He's only played one game since he's come back from his injury, so we'll see about Dylan Holloway. Connor Brown, his original rating was D-, and his current rating is D-. The only reason why it's not an F is because of his play on the penalty kill, although I was going to give him a D+ just because in recent weeks he has been sniffing that blue paint a little bit more. He has been getting chances, so the fact that he's actually been a lot noticeable than he had been, I will take that over the previous weeks. Back in like December, you just never knew Connor Brown was even playing half the time. Guy was doing cardio, but Connor Brown, I really want him to score. Please score, Connor Brown, please. James Hamblin, his previous rating was a B-. His current rating is a C+. He is also in Bakersfield now. I found that he had a couple weeks where he played like the best hockey of his career, and then he kind of dipped a little bit, and I think that's why he got sent back down to the AHL once other players were ready to go. That's nothing against James Hamblin. He's a really solid player. If he's up for the playoffs as a fourth line center, I'm super okay with that. But James Hamblin right now is a C+ for me. Now, Matthias Janmark, his original rating was D+, and his current rating is a D. I'm going to be completely honest, you guys. I'm not a big fan of Matthias Janmark. This is a player that I would be sticking on waivers or trying to trade to make some roster moves or room to create more roster moves to improve this team. Janmark, yes, he does penalty kill, but I feel like you can put almost anyone you want on a penalty kill, especially if it's like the third unit penalty kill. So for Janmark, he gets a D. He'd probably be a D- if it wasn't for the fact that he has more points than Connor Brown. So Janmark, again, I don't want to sound like I'm being harsh or mean to any of these players. Janmark, he's just kind of there for me. He's just there. Derek Ryan, his initial rating was a B-, and his current rating is a B. Derek Ryan, solid veteran. He does what he's told. He penalty kills, and he's given late minutes to shut down guys, and we like Derek Ryan a lot here. So good for Derek Ryan. Sam Gagner, his initial rating was B+. His current rating is also B+. Sam Gagner has given us 5 goals. He has 10 points in 20 games. He plays like 8 minutes a night. There's nothing else you can ask from Sam Gagner. He was injured for quite a while, but he is back to full health, and I really hope that he stays in the lineup. There's no reason to keep healthy scratching Sam Gagner anymore. He does produce when he's in the lineup, so keep him in. He's a B+. Now, moving on, we have Ryan McLeod. His initial rating was a B-, but his current rating I put up to a B+. Ryan McLeod's game has really taken off. He was bumped up to that second line for a little bit with Leon Draisaitl and Warren Foegele. Really started to produce. He's now back down to the third line, but he's still playing really good hockey. He scored that nice goal against the Calgary Flames last Saturday. So good for Ryan McLeod. We're really happy with his game. I do like his two-way game as well. I think he is very defensively responsible. So good job, Ryan McLeod, B+. And then Warren Foegele's up next. His initial rating was a C+. His current rating is a B+. Ever since he got elevated up with Leon Draisaitl, Warren Foegele has been an absolute monster. He's scoring goals. He's getting into the corners. He's back checking. He's all over the ice. When he's playing, he's just all over the ice. We love to see it. If Warren Foegele can sustain that for the rest of the season and into the playoffs, I would have no problem trying to see if you can re-sign him. His market value might cap us out, so we'll see about that, but I would like to see Warren Foegele back if possible, as long as this play is sustainable for him. Now, the next player we have is Evander Kane, and this is going to be very controversial, and I can already tell the comments are going to get really mad at me here. His initial rating at the quarter mark of the season was an A-, and that's when he was producing. He was one of the only Oilers that was producing during the quarter season report cards. Now, his game has really fallen off, and a lot of it has to do with injuries. There's a potential groin injury he has right now. Could be wrist or hand injury that's been reported. And his game overall, just his foot speed's not there. The defensive game's not there. The passing's not there. He's not really scoring goals. I've put his mid-season grade to a C. Lots of room to improve on that. Let's hope that the 9-day break that the team has during the All-Star week, they get the 5 days off, then the All-Star break before they play again. Let's hope that whatever is going on with Evander Kane, he can nurse that and he can get back to that level that is required for a player like him, especially when it comes to the playoffs. If you have a healthy Evander Kane and a healthy Corey Perry on your roster in the playoffs, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for teams to deal with. So Evander Kane, it's a C right now. That does not mean I dislike the player. That's just where I find his game is. Now, next up is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. His initial player grade at the quarter season mark was B-. Currently, it is a B. The power play hasn't been as great. I find Nugent-Hopkins doesn't take the shots that he was taking last season. I find his passing isn't always as crisp. His on-ice awareness is incredible, though, and his defensive game is very strong. We all knew the production was going to come down a bit from last season after he had 103 or 104 points, whatever it was. I never expected him to replicate that type of production, but in terms of the production that he currently has right now, playing on that top line with Hyman and McDavid, I expect just a little bit more from Nuge. However, B is not a bad score. I love Nugent-Hopkins. He is a value contract on this team, and I'm very happy that he is with the roster. That top line is the best in the NHL, and he is part of that, so there's no shame in a B for Nugent-Hopkins. Now, the next player we have is Zach Hyman. His previous rating was an A, and his current rating is, of course, an A+. He is on pace for 58 goals this season. Somehow he's not an all-star. I got to give Gary Bettman a call and see what the hell's going on there. No idea why Hyman is not an all-star this season. He has done absolutely everything asked of him, and even more than that. He has played some incredible hockey. This is the best hockey he's played in his entire career. We still have him for a couple more seasons. That contract has aged so well. I was one of those people, I'm going to admit it right now, I thought Zach Hyman's contract, when it was signed, would not age well. I am eating crow, and I am loving every single feather that is going down my throat because Zach Hyman has proved me wrong, and I love that. So good for Zach Hyman. He is an A+. Next player is Leon Draisaitl. His first rating was A-. His midseason rating is an A. It has gone up just a little bit. He's not quite at that A+ rating. He is starting to score a bit more goals now, but again, because the power play isn't shooting like it used to, he's not scoring at the rate that we're accustomed to. But the one thing he has been doing a lot better in recent weeks is his defensive game. I love his two-way game, playing with Fogle. They are just a menace in the defensive zone. He is chasing guys into corners. He is pickpocketing guys. He is stripping pucks. He is making plays. He's been very responsible in his own end, and that is helping the second line with the offense right now. So very happy with Leon Draisaitl's game. Zero complaints from me right now. And then last but not least, Connor McDavid. He was an A- at the quarter season mark. Right now, he's an A+. Now, his initial rating was an A- because he had been injured and he was actually barely a point per game. I think he was less than a point per game when I did that quarter season report card. He had been battling some kind of injury. The whole team was all out of sorts, but obviously McDavid is back to that level that we are accustomed to, and the team is on a huge run right now, and it is thanks to a guy like Connor McDavid. Overall, though, like, even if players have like lower grades than others, as a team right now, this is the best I've ever seen an Edmonton Oilers team play in my entire life, and I've been watching this team since 1996. So again, if you guys have different ideas of where the player grades are for you, that's totally fine. You guys can let me know in the comment section how you feel about my player grades, as long as it's constructive and nobody is calling me names, because I like to do this just for fun. I like to create a dialogue with everyone. Now, when it comes to the goalie average, it's a B, the defense average B+, and forward average B+. I would love to see all of those in the A's towards the end of the season. But what did you guys think of today's mid-season report card? Let me know in the comments section below. If you guys like this video and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit like. If you really liked it and you want to be part of the channel and you want to be part of the future of Austin hockey on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe. It would be very appreciated. You guys are seriously the best, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.